Before I begin, I must admit that I had to play this game 3 times to fully grasp its mechanics. Initially, I thought Sprawl played similar to other boomer shooters like Herod, Dusk or Proteus, but I was mistaken. Sprawl draws inspiration from games known for their extensive weapon arsenals, arena-style combat and swarms of enemies. However, it sets itself apart by introducing a heightened emphasis on movement, which initially caught my attention. Furthermore, the game introduces additional layers of complexity through mechanics such as weapon swapping, identifying enemy weak points, and utilizing bullet time to enhance your efficiency in killing enemies. All in all, a nice change from the majority of games in the same genre. If I had to sum up Sprawl briefly, it's like Doom Eternal and Ghost Runner, set in the universe of Ghost in the Shell and jin-roh. Sounds intriguing, right? Featuring incredible soundtracks beyond description, Sprawl offers a wealth of content. Although the main campaign lasts around 5 hours, its immense replayability stems from its sheer enjoyment. While I was busy writing this script, it appears that the developers were also hard at work on another update, introducing time trials and a horde mode, which I'll delve into further at the end of the video. Sprawl is a complete game comprised of 3 episodes with a total of 12 levels, all set within a sprawling cyberpunk metropolis. The game features a narrative, partly conveyed by a character known as Father.
I believe that now is an appropriate time to introduce myself. I am Father.
With additional story elements accessible through QR codes scattered through the levels. To my knowledge, the developers are working on making the QR codes optional and plan to provide the entire story within the game, although the specifics of this update are yet to be revealed. Let's take a moment to introduce the devs briefly. The team behind Sprawl is a relatively small one, known as marries. This team includes Hannah Crawford, the creator and a senior programmer for Warframe, as well as Carlos Lizarraga, who is also responsible for the captivating soundtracks. But now to the game. As mentioned, Sprawl is primarily characterized by its movement and 3 other mechanics. Wall running is a prominent feature, and since the game's action unfolds mainly on the city streets and rooftops, wall running plays a crucial role here. It's influenced by momentum, allowing you to run down a wall when pressing against it while falling and run up the wall when jumping. While on the wall, you can make 3 additional jumps before descending to the ground. By combining sliding with jumping, you can perform bunny hops and chain them together. This technique allows for faster traversal through both maps and enemies. Trust me, it's essential, because staying still often means certain death. Moreover, it greatly enhances your wall running abilities, since it depends on your momentum. Understanding weapon handling is straightforward. Shotguns and SMGs are effective for dispatching most enemies. However, with limited ammo reserves in Sprawl, relying on a single weapon throughout a fight isn't viable. Additionally, finding ammo or medkits mid-combat is often unlikely. So, how do we address this challenge? Nearly every opponent in this game has specific weak points. When you target and eliminate enemies by hitting these weak points, you'll often receive essential resources like extra lives and ammunition, almost like cracking open a piñata. The strategy is simple. Use shotguns and SMGs to weaken your enemies. Once they are sufficiently weakened, a shot from the pistol aimed at their weak point is usually enough to finish them off. The key question then becomes, how do you identify these weak points? Adrenaline in Sprawl serves 2 crucial functions. It slows down time and highlights weak points. Activated with a standard right click on your mouse, it allows you a brief overview of the current situation and precise aiming even in the midst of hectic gameplay. However, it's worth noting that adrenaline isn't limitless. You have a finite amount at your disposal to maintain fairness and prevent abuse. It can be replenished by enemies when you eliminate them through the mentioned weak points. Sprawl equips you with a diverse arsenal of 7 weapons, and the limited ammo system ensures that each weapon remains relevant throughout the game. Let's take a closer look at our selection. Easily the finest pistols I've encountered in the game. They deliver substantial damage, coupled with Japanese precision, making them effective against a wide range of enemies.
This was once your favorite, wasn't it?
A hybrid of a pump action and super shotgun, ideal for dealing with tougher enemies. but it's advisable to pair it with quick weapon swaps, due to its lengthy reload time, which takes almost as long as the heat death of our universe. Akimbo SMGs that excel at depleting your enemy's health bar, especially helpful for those damned robot dogs. An automatic grenade launcher. Need I say more? A unique minigun, offering high damage, 100 rounds at your disposal, and pinpoint accuracy. Something you wouldn't really expect from a minigun, right? However, it fires slowly and makes you feel like you're glued in place. Best used from a distance or when you can jump continuously. A railgun with seemingly unlimited range. No ADS in this game, so be ready to flick your mouse across the table. Your rocket launcher. It packs quite a punch, as each shot splits into smaller explosive clusters, obliterating anything in front of you. However, be cautious of its limited accuracy at long distances. I must commend the developers for taking the time to give each weapon its unique name. It adds a layer of personality that sets them apart from generic names like shotgun, minigun or rocket launcher. Sprawl introduces a variety of enemies that will resonate with most retro shooter fans. While their names and appearances differ, their functions remain fundamentally familiar. Melee enemies that approach you invisibly and often appear in large groups. They have low health, but can be a problem if you get surrounded. Armed with standard assault rifles. These enemies are a common sight throughout the game, appearing in both human and robot forms. They fire in 3 rounds and are relatively easy to defeat. Resembling shotgun-wielding adversaries, these enemies possess a significant amount of health and the potential for instant kills at close range. To deal with them, use SMGs or shotguns to weaken them, then finish with a headshot from your magnum. Armed with SMGs, these foes can quickly drain your health, making them high priority targets. Their rapid damage output demands immediate attention when they enter the fight. These large robots are impervious to small caliber weapons and come equipped with a grenade launcher and minigun. You can damage them only with specific weapons and also shoot down the grenades they launch. Your Pinky Demon. These enemies have high health, move swiftly, deal significant damage and should be treated as top priority threats. Similar to the Pinky Demon, they charge to perform melee attacks. Larger versions of the military police armed with laser SMGs. Unlike their smaller counterparts, they have substantial health and deal heavy damage with their fully automatic weapons, making them yet another priority target. Charging towards you with a shield and baton. These fuckers can be deadly if they connect. If they miss, they tend to run in a straight line, allowing you to attack from behind. These robot dogs are fast and highly irritating. They appear in groups and can pose a threat due to their speed and agility. Small drones that buzz around your head like mosquitoes, continuously firing at you until you destroy them. The maps are expansive, offering significant verticality and convey a sense of desolation, as if abandoned by humanity but teeming with megacorp soldiers. The constant feeling of oppression and complete control never fades, enhancing the immersive experience. The map design is excellent, although it occasionally confused me, which encouraged me to explore the levels more closely, and I must say the immersion in the dystopian cyberpunk world is masterfully executed. Nonetheless, their battles are even more impressive. Vast open spaces provide ample room for utilizing the fantastic movement system to leap between enemies, delivering precise headshots. One helpful feature is that when adrenaline is activated, it highlights certain elements such as buttons, keycards and cables that you can follow. Key hunting is kept to a minimum, with only 2 different keycards to find, which shouldn't pose major challenges. Occasionally, there are small boss fights, while not extraordinary, serve as fitting conclusions to the chapters. Sprawl's graphics are truly remarkable. Despite its old-school pixelated appearance, every element in the game is filled with intricate details, from the rust on the corrugated iron to the cracked concrete floors and decorative ornaments. The game's use of reflections and lighting rivals that of the most modern titles, whether it's the way giant neon signs with Japanese characters and modern energy barriers reflect in puddles, the way explosions and muzzle flashes light up the environment, or the realistic appearance of flowing water in the river. Everything seamlessly contributes to the game's immersive world. The sound design is equally impressive. The weapons pack a powerful and serious auditory punch. The radio chatter of corpo soldiers, the sound of footsteps, and every other audio element harmonizes perfectly with the game's settings, enhancing the overall sense of immersion. It's evident that the developers poured a great deal of care and attention into details, and you can both see and hear the results of their efforts. A recent 500 MB update introduced 2 new game modes to Sprawl, and they are both quite self-explanatory. Firstly, there's the Time Trials mode, which serves 2 purposes. It's an ideal way to master the game's movement mechanics, which includes sliding, jumping and executing bunny hops to scale walls. Time Trials provide a controlled environment where you can refine your timing and movement techniques without distractions. Moreover, it allows you to explore the extended movement options, such as shotgun jumps. A bit like rocket jumps but with a shotgun. This mode encourages experimentation, helping you unlock the full potential of the movement system. Then there's the Horde mode, which is refreshingly straightforward. There are no rounds or waves. Enemies spawn immediately and surround you. As you rack up the kills, the game rewards you with new weapons and introduces tougher enemies. Don't forget to use the jukebox next to the altar. You will need the music for this. Now that you have all the information about the game, Sprawl injects a refreshing variety into the genre, which in my opinion was much needed. It's a rarity to purchase an affordable and lesser known game and be pleasantly surprised, but Sprawl managed to achieve exactly that. It took me some time to truly grasp what the developers were aiming for, but once you become proficient with the mechanics, you start to appreciate the brilliance of the game. I must extend my heartfelt praise to the devs for delivering a complete game that isn't stuck in early access limbo indefinitely or plagued by questionable features and bugs. Sprawl fulfills its promises and is currently receiving ample attention from the devs to address minor issues. Overall, it offers excellent value for your money, and I'm confident that a significant portion of the fanbase within this genre will find Sprawl quite appealing. I do have 2 points for potential improvement. The enemy AI could benefit from some refinement, as occasionally they appear idle while you're obliterating 90% of the map. Enhancing their ability to detect players upon entering a room could add more pressure to players and result in more dynamic encounters. Considering the current system where armor can only be replenished through armor pickups, there is an opportunity to make armor a more integral part of the game. It's beneficial, but players may not always have the opportunity to take full advantage of it. But enough from me. Sprawl is worth every penny, and I highly recommend you experience it for yourself. You won't regret it. Thanks for your time.